Girls, today our subject is general knowledge and the topic is people occupations. These days, people have multiple occupations. As for example, a software engineer can also be a writer. Occupation is a job or work that one has to do in order to earn money. A professional is a person who is an expert in his occupation. He has a deep knowledge of skills required in the particular profession. Now let us go deep into the chapter. A teacher helps you to learn different topics in school. The teacher helps students to acquire knowledge, competence, or virtue. If you have toothache, then you go to a dentist. A dentist, also known as a dental surgeon, is a surgeon who specializes in dentistry. The diagnosis, prevention, and treatment of diseases and conditions of the oral cavity. The dentist supporting team aids in providing oral health services. Your brother likes to click photographs, hence, he wants to become a famous photographer one day. An amateur photographer takes snapshots for pleasure to remember events, places, or friends with no intention of selling the images to others. A professional photographer is likely to take photographs for a session and image purchase fee by salary or through the display, resale or use of those photographs. You hear sounds of different musical instruments from your neighbor's house. Probably he is a musician. A musician is a person who plays a musical instrument or is musically talented. Anyone who composes, conducts, or performs music is referred to as a musician. A musician who plays a musical instrument is also known as an instrumentalist. A person who is able to play a number of instruments is called a multi instrumentalist. A musician may perform on their own or as a part of a group, band, or orchestra. A lawyer helps people in getting justice by pleading their case before a judge. A lawyer or attorney is a person who practices law as an advocate, attorney at law, barrister, barrister at law, bar at law, canonist, canon lawyer, civil lawyer, law notary, counsel, counselor, solicitor, legal executive, or public servant preparing, interpreting, and applying law, but not as a paralegal or charter executive secretary. Working as a lawyer involves the practical application of abstract legal theories and knowledge to solve specific individualized problems or to advance the interest of those who hire lawyers to perform legal services. The role of the lawyer varies greatly across different legal jurisdictions. A florist arranges flowers in baskets, bouquets, etc. and delivers them to people, offices, marriages, etc. Floristry is the production, commerce, and trade in flowers. It encompasses flower care and handling, floral design or flower arranging, merchandising, production, display, and flower delivery. Wholesale florists sell bulk flowers and related supplies to professionals in the trade. Retail florists offer fresh flowers and related products and services to consumers. An architect plans and designs the layouts of buildings. To practice architecture means to provide services in connection with the design of buildings and the space within the site surrounding the buildings that have human occupancy or use as their principal purpose. If you want to change the interiors of your house or office, you seek the advice of an interior designer. Interior design is the art and science of enhancing the interior of a building to achieve a healthier and more aesthetically pleasing environment for the people using the space. An interior designer is someone who plans, researches, coordinates, and manages such enhancement projects. A person who wants to become an astronomer studies astronomy. An astronomer is a scientist in the field of astronomy who focuses their studies on a specific question or field outside the scope of Earth. They observe astronomical objects such as stars, planets, moons, comets, and galaxies in either observational or theoretical astronomy. Your cousin is learning various dance forms so that she can become a successful dancer one day. Dance is a performing art form consisting of purposefully selected sequences of human movement. This movement has aesthetic and symbolic value and is acknowledged as dance by performers and observers within a particular culture. A farmer grows different crops in the field. A farmer is a person engaged in agriculture, raising living organisms for food or raw materials. The term usually applies to people who do some combination of raising field crops, orchards, vineyards, poultry, or other livestock. A programmer develops different kinds of computer software. A computer programmer, sometimes called a software developer, a programmer, or more recently, a coder, is a person who creates computer software. The term computer programmer can refer to a specialist in one area of computers, to a generalist who writes code for many kinds of software. Now girls, it's time for the exercises. Number 1. A teacher helps you to learn different topics in school. Number 2. If you have toothache, then you go to a dentist. Number 3. Your brother likes to click photographs. Hence, he wants to become a famous photographer one day. Number 4. You hear sounds of different musical instruments from your neighbor's house. Probably he is a musician. Number 5. A lawyer helps people in getting justice by pleading their case before a judge. Number 6. A florist arranges flowers in baskets, bouquets, etc. and delivers them to people, offices, marriages, etc. Number 7. An architect plans and designs the layouts of buildings. Number 8. If you want to change the interiors of your house or office, you seek the advice of an interior designer. Number 9. A person who wants to become an astronomer studies astronomy. Number 10. Your cousin is learning various dance forms so that she can become a successful dancer one day. Number 11. A farmer grows different crops in the field. Number 12. A programmer develops different kinds of computer software. Now, girls, open your general knowledge books, page number 37. People, occupations. Solve the exercise on your own. We have completed the first chapter of general knowledge. Now let us browse the chapter with the help of some questions. Number 1. Who is a professional? Number 2. What is an occupation? Number 3. Who helps you to learn different topics in school? Number 4. Who is a lawyer? Number 5. Who is a programmer? Number 6. Who is an astronomer? Girls, now let us start the second chapter of General Knowledge, World of Literature. Munshi Premchand is known as Upanas Samrat, which means a great emperor among novel writers. Vedas are the oldest scriptures of Hinduism, written in Vedic Sanskrit. There are four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda. Tulsidas wrote Ramacharita-manas. Kabir wrote Bijak. Kabir Das was a 15th century Indian mystic, poet, and saint. Munshi Premchand wrote Godan. Maharishi Valmiki wrote Ramayana. Valmiki is celebrated as the harbinger poet in Sanskrit literature. Sumitra Nandan Pant wrote Lokyatan. He was one of the most celebrated 20th century poets of the Hindi language. Mirza Ghalib composed Urdu ghazals. He was a prominent Urdu and Persian poet during the last years of the Mughal Empire. Kalidasa wrote Meghdut. Kalidasa was a classical Sanskrit author and is often considered ancient India's greatest playwright and dramatist. Veda Vyasa wrote Mahabharata, Vedas, and Puranas. Waris Shah wrote Hir Ranja. He was a Punjabi Sufi poet of the Chishti order. Rabindranath Tagore, popularly known as Gurudev, was a Bengali polymath, poet, writer, composer, philosopher, and painter. He composed Gitanjali. Sri Aurobindo was an Indian philosopher, yogi, guru, poet, and nationalist. He wrote Savitri. Amrita Pritam wrote Sunere. She was an Indian novelist, essayist, and poet who wrote in Punjabi and Hindi. Now, girls, let us come to the exercises. Number 1. Tulsidas wrote Ramacharita-manas. Number 2. Kabir wrote Bijak. Number 3. Munshi Premchand wrote Godan. Number 4. Maharishi Valmiki wrote Ramayana. Number 5. Sumitra Nandan Pant wrote Lokyatan. Number 6. Mirza Ghalib composed Urdu ghazals. Number 7. Kalidasa wrote Meghdut. Number 8. Veda Vyasa wrote Mahabharata. Number 9. Waris Shah wrote Hir Ranja. Number 10. Rabindranath Tagore composed Gitanjali. Number 11. Sri Aurobindo wrote Savitri. Number 12. Amrita Pritam wrote Sunere. Now, girls, open your GK books, page number 38. Do the exercise on your own. Girls, we have completed the second chapter of general knowledge. Now, let us browse the chapter with the help of some questions. Number 1. Which are the oldest scriptures of Hinduism? Number 2. Who is also known as Upanas Samrat? Number 3. Who is the author of Bijak? Number 4. Name the four Vedas. Number 5. Who wrote Meghdut? Number 6. Who is the author of Gitanjali?